developmental observations. When daycare providers notice developmental delays, they can recommend that parents take their children to the pediatrician or other interventionists like occupational therapists for examination, diagnosis, and treatment. Remember, daycare providers do not diagnose. We can only identify symptoms and refer parents to services which are available to them. Early detection and management of autism can ensure a better quality of life for children. The Center for Disease Control lists the following signs of autism, so daycare providers, please take note. Child avoids or does not keep. Hi family, I'm Dr. Brenda. I'm a licensed daycare provider, a published author of 3 children's books, an advocate, a consultant, a veteran's wife, and a mother. If you need help setting up your daycare service or just looking for great ideas to incorporate a play-based learning approach as well as learn about research-based solutions to issues impacting education, this is the channel for you. Subscribe, share, like. Thank you. As daycare providers, we may spend more than 10 hours with the children we work with every single day. This is why it is imperative that we're knowledgeable about how children grow and develop. As children grow, there are certain milestones that they are expected to reach. Pay attention when they speak, play, act, and navigate through their various environments. The Center for Disease Control emphasizes that when children exhibit delays in these areas of development, it could be an indication of developmental problems or even autism spectrum disorder. The American Academy of Pediatrics defines autism spectrum disorder as a neurodevelopmental disorder that occurs in 1 in 59 children in the United States. Children with autism can have socio-emotional and behavioral issues. It is important to note that just like children are unique, autism can occur differently in children. Autism is usually identified between the ages of 0 to 3. It is prevalent in males and can be genetic too. Because of the prevalence of autism spectrum disorder in children, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that at age 18 and 24 months, children should be screened for autism spectrum disorder in addition to routine developmental observations. When daycare providers notice developmental delays, they can recommend that parents take their children to the pediatrician or other interventionists like occupational therapists for examination, diagnosis, and treatment. Remember, daycare providers do not diagnose. We can only identify symptoms and refer parents to services which are available to them. Early detection and management of autism can ensure a better quality of life for children. The Center for Disease Control lists the following signs of autism, so daycare providers, please take note. Child avoids or does not keep eye contact. When children are born and as they grow and develop, they naturally will look in your eyes or look directly at you, because that is how they learn about you, your expressions, what you're thinking, because they are very intuitive. If they do not do that, if they do not look at you and keep eye contact, then that's something for you to take note of. As you're looking at these symptoms and as you're listing them or writing them out or noting them in children, please remember that children with any of these symptoms may not have autism or any developmental problem, and also it could also be a cultural thing, because I grew up in a culture, for instance, where keeping eye contact was seen as disrespectful. So for you to be able to determine if a particular child has a problem because they are not keeping eye contact, you have to consider a variety of things. So the next one is inability to respond to name by 9 months of age. So by 9 months, a child should know their name. They should be able to respond to their names. So when you call a child, and this is happening consistently, because sometimes infants will purposely, they will ignore you when you call them, or toddlers will do too. So you have to differentiate between if they are ignoring you on purpose or if they are actually not responding because they do not have that ability. The next one is lack of facial expressions like happy, sad, angry, and surprised by 9 months of age. This is self-explanatory, So by 9 months of age, if a child is not showing any expressions of happy or sad or angry or surprised, then you start to take notes and compare with other symptoms to see if a parent needs to take their child for evaluation. Play simple interactive games like pat a cake by 12 months of age. And this might even be a little bit complicated. I know one simple games that children love to play at very young age, and that is peekaboo. So you're playing peekaboo, and the little child is not even responding or interactive while you're trying to play the game with them, or you're teaching them the game. They're just not responding to it. So you take note of that, and that symptom alone does not mean the child has autism. So I have to keep reiterating that, because one of these symptoms alone does not mean that the child has autism or don't have autism. There has to be a combination of symptoms, and it has to be consistent. Uses few or no gestures by 12 months of age. For example, they cannot say goodbye, and does not share interest with others by 15 months of age. Example, shows you an object that they like. And if you notice children, infants and early toddlers, if you notice when they're playing, they have a toy and there's an adult around, they take it to you and they show it to you, or they give it to you. So this is something to also watch out for. Does not point or show you something interesting by 18 months of age. So take note of that. If a child is not pointing or showing you something interesting by 18 months of age. Does not notice when others are hurt or upset by 24 months of age. So emotions and noticing emotion by 24 months of age is age appropriate. So if you're angry and a child does not notice, they just keep doing what they're doing, take note. If you're happy, they don't notice, take note. And how you can know this is most of the time, whatever an adult is feeling around children kind of replicate it. So if you're sad, they replicate sadness. They show it. If you're happy, they notice it. If you're excited, they're excited with you. So you have to notice why you are with these children every day for at least 10 hours a day or more. You have to notice if they are understanding emotions, if they can see when you're sad, happy, if they can notice in their friends when somebody's hurt, all of that. Does not notice other children and join them in play by 36 months of age. So when a child just wants to be by themselves, they don't want to be with another child, they don't even notice them, they don't want to play with other children, that is something you have to consider as well and take note of. Does not pretend to be something else like a teacher or a superhero during play by 48 months of age. One thing I know that toddlers and late infants, I know that they really like to do is pretend play. And one occupation they like to pretend about is the policeman or policewoman, and sometimes they do the fireman. So if these children are not pretending to be something else like a teacher, a superhero, a fireman, a policeman during play by 48 months of age, then you have to take note. And this, in addition to other symptoms, might mean that that child needs to be evaluated. Does not sing or dance or act for you by 60 months of age. So if a child does not sing or dance or act for you by 60 months of age, then you need to take note. And in addition to other symptoms, you have to refer those children or that child for help. So I'm going to quickly go over, there's one more. Restricted or repetitive behaviors or interests. So they are constantly doing one thing and it's restricted. They are not extending their play. They are repetitive. They do the same thing over and over again, or they're interested in the same thing over and over again. Then you have to take note. So I'm going to go from the beginning again and just do a quick summary before I end this. So the first one, child avoids or does not keep eye contact. And I told you that this is something that you have to consider the circumstances or the context around it, because as an African, culturally and traditionally, we were taught not to make eye contact. And it's cultural. It doesn't mean many Africans have autism. It's just that culturally, when you look an elder in the eye, it means that you are disrespectful to them. So these are things that you have to take into consideration when considering if a child is keeping eye contact or not. Inability to respond to name by 9 months. Lack of facial expressions like happy, sad, angry, and surprised by 9 months of age. Play simple interactive games like powder cake by 12 months of age. Uses few or no gestures by 12 months of age. For example, does not wave goodbye. Does not share interest with others by 15 months of age. For example, shows you an object that they like. Does not point to show you something interesting by 18 months of age. Does not notice when others are hurt or upset by 24 months of age. Does not notice other children and join them in play by 36 months of age. Does not pretend to be something else like a teacher, superhero, policeman, fireman during play by 48 months of age. Does not sing, dance, or act for you by 60 months of age. Restricted or repetitive behaviors or interest. So and that's about all I'm going to talk about for this video. This is all from the CDC website, and I'm going to leave a link in the description box so you can go there. There's a whole lot of information about autism spectrum disorder on the CDC website that you would want to go look at. And please, it's important for you to take note of every single child, and it's also important to learn developmental abilities of children at every stage they are in. Thanks for watching. Remember, prayers get answered, miracles still happen, and every single thing is possible. Love you all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.